Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. I am joined with my beautiful peeps over here. This show was originally created from the more than 300 original quotes I had created for the contents of my books. Just curious, having conversations with my friends here, all of my co-hosts, Gilda, Christopher James, Larnez, K Mac, the voice of our show, Otis Spencer, Mr. Curtis Battle, and PJ. And believe it or not, the quote that we have today is brought to us by a poet, a teacher, educator, and a good spirit, Anne Marie. So, without any further ado, this show is brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. It is holiday season, so I'm going to cut short the intro and just say happy holidays to you. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. And if you tell me it's not your holiday, not my problem. I'll tell you that right now. Enjoy yourself. Just allow me to acknowledge you. So if you are in that spirit or you need help getting in the spirit, tune into this show. Otis, for today, what's the quote that we're bringing to everyone?
Sunday, everyone, Grand Rising. And today's quote: forget being realistic. Success takes delusion. Act like it's going to happen. Believe it's already yours. You are the main character. You can make life the reality you want.
To be, want it to be. All right, all right, all right. Oh, Anne Marie, Anne Marie, Anne Marie. All right. I still got my AM voice. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying
that
the heck out
morning
of this.
voice.
All right. So Anne Marie, how does this quote land on you?
Grand rising, everybody. Grand rising. There's something about the morning that's fresh and that is new. You want to know something? Have you ever ran into a child and they wanted to join like the NFL? Or you have a child, a guy, he wants to be the next LeBron James, okay, the next Michael Jordan. Somebody wants to be the next actress. And what we do as adults, we tell them, that's not real. Okay. What is your backup plan? Let's forget about that and let's get to your books. Let's get to your studies. It turns out children had it right all along, and we've been killing that dream out of them. And what do I mean by that? I mean, my goodness, the infinitive, I can't say the word, okay? The possibility of making any of these things is so rare, and we are well-meaning people, but we tell them they can't do it. I want us to take a look, a different perspective because you don't need a backup plan. Here's what the quote, how it jumps out at me. It emphasizes uh, it emphasizes a confidence in terms of who you are. It emphasizes that when you believe in success as if it's inevitable, you naturally make decisions, you take risk, and you persist through challenges in ways that increase the odds of your achieving your goals. The delusion isn't really delusional because you start to act like that which you want to be. I mean, somebody need to talk about Oprah Winfrey. Look at her humble beginnings. Let's talk about Magic Johnson, one of 10 children. Come on now. He didn't have a lot of income growing up, and look at the giant businessman he's become. Sarah Jakes Roberts, somebody should have told her that being, a worldwide name was a delusion when she was young and pregnant, and people were bringing shame onto her. Yet all of these people, the thing they have in common is something they move forward. So success, don't want to get it wrong because it does require reality. It does require a healthy dose of what is it going to take to achieve this level. But the thing that I find that is really pivotal is if we can all become cheerleaders, not just of other people, but cheerleaders of ourselves. Just wake up in the morning with our morning voice and say, "Wake up, baby. You got this. You can do this." Talk to yourself just a little bit. Talk to yourself about how much is within you and that fire. Talk yourself into what you can do and then take ownership of it because you have the opportunity to co author with the divine. You have the opportunity to create your life. You have the opportunity to manifest what is in your deepest desire. So you have the opportunity to choose. So one of the things we need to think about is letting go all these limiting beliefs. Walk into that room like you own it. walk walk into that office meeting. Start public speaking. Oh my goodness. Go ahead and put yourself out there. Choose some things that will help you to take the risk for you to be who and what you want to be. Stop telling yourself all the things that you're not and tell yourself all of the things that you are. And I'll end right here because I am so proud of him. I'm so proud of my son. 2025, my son, baby boy, second billboard up in Times Square. He said he is delusional about success. And I said, go ahead, baby boy, you do your thing. That's what we have to do. Be a cheerleader for others. That's how the quote landed on me.
Yo, boy, oh boy, the power of delusional beliefs. I'll say that again. The power of delusional beliefs is believing before you're seeing just how great your achievements are. I mean, you mentioned a couple people that had a dream. I'm going to tell you a story. Jalen Daniels, he is the quarterback for the Washington, I don't know, the Redskins, Commanders. I don't know what they call them anymore. But anyway, I read his story when he was going to
Yeah.
LSU, sixth grade. He looked at what LeBron James, how he ate, slept, how he moved, how he conducted himself with family and friends, and he patterned himself after a successful story. And he's told his mom, he says, "I'm going to take care of you." He says, "I'm going to take care of you in a way that no one's ever taken care of you," because she's a single mom. He says, "I'm going to make it to the NFL. I'm going to buy you a house." And if you look back, turn the pages of time from last year, whatever, he was one of the most highly recognized quarterbacks in the NFL last year. Don't hang around dream stealers. If you're a parent and your child says that I have a vision to be a concert pianist, I don't care if you can't afford it. You find a neighbor's piano for him to play on. You go to the piano store and let him play every single day. Find a way to get him to play. Support his dream. We've got the Olympics coming up very soon in February. You know what happens? All these kids wake up and they have these dreams. Every single person on this panel, every single person, all right, on this panel, my co-hosts, all had a dream, all have a dream. And we've had many people saying that dream can't happen. You know, crazy is good, especially when you're surrounded by wonderful people like this. So believe before you see just how great your achievements can be, and then live your life as that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, K Mac, you guys should hear her walkout music. I'm not talking about that. Curtis, Battles, how does this quote land on you? I'm digging my AM voice this morning.
So, happy Sunday to all. It's always a pleasure to join you. Anne Marie, thanks so much for this quote because this is like my life every single day. I'm a longtime entrepreneur and I had that lovely, perfect corporate world, but gave it up for what was my dream. And my dream is to build businesses that will ultimately help people and let me give back to the world. It's not about the money, but it's just the what you get helps you give to others, whether that's for their education, whether that's for their dreams. That is what I've been pursuing now for better than 10 years. And there are people every day that tell me I am crazy. You can't do that. That won't ever work. How are you going to get the money? And sometimes they can be the closest to you. It could be your family members who say, "No, that's going to be hard on me." And you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going through. And the piece that is the most challenging, I think, is the fear that's in our own heads, where we are pushing for it and we know what the dream is and we're going after it, but there's a little voice that says, "Are you sure? Is that really what you want to do? Does that really make sense?" Um, and you have to just figure out ways to get through that and get around that and continue um, in making the reality that you want it to be. And so that is how this has landed on me. I think it is so important that we listen to those young folks and hear their dreams and encourage them. And in some of my work I've done with mentoring youth, that is the one thing you're looking for, that little nugget that they're bringing to the party, whether it's spoken word, whether it's something to technology, but they have an idea, and we just need to make sure that we, as the people who hear it, keep them on the path to what their greatest success and dreams in life will be. And that's how it landed on me.
Right. And I'm glad it landed in a safe place because reality bends to conviction. Your mindset shapes your world. I want you people to understand that. Reality bends, it humbles itself to conviction. Your mindset shapes your world. So I'm going to ask Gilda, how does this quote land on you?
Grand Rising, everyone. I knew Kevin was going to call on me.
Well, you happen to be on the show. I was going to call you sooner or later.
Okay. How did land on me with this quote? Just to sum it up, I would say own your success to to create the life you want. So you should own it.
You should be the captain of your ship. You're exactly right. And wherever your ship is sailing, be prepared for where you're about to arrive. Yeah, short and sweet as always. That's the reason why I called on you. All right. We don't have a lot of days left in 2025, and I just want to make sure we made best of our time. That's why I called on you, Gello.
Oh, okay.
All right, all right. So, PJ Scott. All right. What's the weather like over there in Boston? Because it's cold over here in Philadelphia.
Icy. There's black ice out there, and I do have to go out. So no, it's really cold. It's bitter. It's not even winter yet, and it's freezing. Winter solstice is what, a couple more weeks? Well, another one of my favorite days of the year. No, that is my favorite day of the year for some strange reason, the winter solstice. Anyway, how this hit, well, you guys make my head explode. You know that. So just keep in mind I'm just a blonde. I'll try and pull my thoughts together.
All right.
I'm a blonde and I'm old. I can use that as an excuse too. No, I can't. I can't really. Anyway, whenever you guys start talking, I get enough to fill my journal for the whole week. And I already started on this week's day one. So the first thought I had was that we create our own reality. And what was that book? What a Man Thinketh? Well, what a man or a woman thinketh, there go you. Um, then I thought of this. My father was Dutch, and the Dutch have an expression, uh, loosely translated, "Once begun, half done." So if you really want something, just start, just begin, even if it's a humble beginning. I remember when I was a little kid, I wanted to be one of those people who went into work looking like all that with a cherry on top. So even as a little child, I knew that I had to create that reality myself. I would not have known how to express that. But I went in my closet and I got rid of everything that didn't fit with that picture. All went to the to thrift store, wherever my mother used to take my things. And every time I left the house, I looked like that. And now I catch myself going down to check the mail and I look in the mirror. You have to um, package yourself. You have to market yourself. And then I thought of Anne Marie and her husband, and there already is a husband. He's there. He's there. Um, One of the exercises I did with my kids, I think I told you last week I taught financial literacy, but we covered a lot of territory, everything from a to-do list to metaphysical aspects of their lives. But I had them do a Wheel of Fortune. And I brought in a pile of magazines. I had them go through the magazines and in 12 different categories put a picture of what they want. And I still do that. I do it on a cloud. I use Evernote to put all my little scrapbook of pictures what I want in 12 different categories. Then I thought of, I think it was when Gilda was talking, acting as if. You start to act as if you already have what you want. So, Anne Marie, start planning your wedding. What are you going to wear? Where's it going to be? Details, details, details. Because when the universe, aka God, sees that list, there you go. You're all set. You're all set. Dream big, I thought of. I thought of that expression. It's a meme. What your mind can conceive and believe the mind can achieve. So you have to program this computer. It's just ones and zeros like any other computer, and it can be programmed. And then the last thing I thought of was something I got in my meditation this morning on patience. And Katrina, thank you. That's what, when I opened your book this morning to do my chapter of the day, it was on patience. But the first thing I got this morning was that nothing hectic, no acting needy or lusting after a desired outcome. We can have whatever we want, but we can't be attached to an outcome. Desires are great. Does that make sense? Desire is good. And also, because when you attach yourself to a desired outcome, you set a limit. You may be limiting yourself. God might have a way bigger plan than that. So let go, let God. Write down what you want, do your Wheel of Fortune, put your pictures on a page, but then let go and let God. That's how that landed on me.
All right, and thank you for your share. I mean, uh, my listeners, um, I am going to say to you that rewrite your script. All right. You control the narrative to your life. And I got to bring this up. So you've been reading Dr. Ferguson's book, and people have called and says, well, why don't you talk about how can we get her book? So before I go to Chris, K-Mac, Dr. Ferguson, tell our listeners, go ahead, use this show to promote your book. Tell them what your book's about, how you get it, and then we'll go back to the show real quick.
Excellent. Thank you for the opportunity. It's really funny because my background actually had my book on it before I got on. But the book is called Waiting to Exit Hell. It is a play on the movie Waiting to Exhale. And I was thinking about that moment when Angela Bassett walked away and she flicked that cigarette and that car went up. Like everybody who saw that movie will never forget. One, her arms are amazing. But two, just the resolve. She threw her shoulders back. She walked away. She was exiting a hell. That was her way out. And what I found in my practice of coaching women is a lot of times we stay in situations so very long. Why? Why don't you exit the hell? Why don't you move out of it? A lot of times it's because we don't know anybody who's ever done it, so we don't believe that we can do it ourselves. A lot of times we just need a strategy. We need a system. We need somebody that's like, girl, get your stuff. Let's go. I got you. We're going to make it work together. But the bottom line is there's a confidence, a mindset that has to happen. And when I looked back at my life, I realized there were so many hells that I had exited, whether it was a hell of a bad relationship, a hell of a bad health, hell of, some things going on in my family, of grieving. Sometimes it's hellish. Well, when you realize someone else has done it and gotten through it and is willing to tell you how to do the same thing, where do you find that information? If you don't have a best friend, where do you find that information? If you don't, like, my best friend had never been through anything. I was like, nothing. Like, she had no drama, no trauma in her life. And here I am with a whole book full of drama and trauma, and it's called Waiting to Exit Hell. And I share the strategies that I use to exit those hells in my life, because I realize it's the same steps. It's just a growing mindset. And when I look at my life and I realize that realistically, I shouldn't have the lifestyle I live, but it took some hard decisions. It took being okay with the fact that no is a complete sentence, that I don't need to give you a reason why. I can just stand on my no. And if I feel like it, I might throw a hell in there. So that's what the book is about. It's a 31-day declaration, affirmation experience where we do, it is scripture based. And literally when you come out of it, we invite you to join us on the journey out with some other people to share your story, your impact, how it impacted you, so that you can now pay it forward to others. So Waiting to Exit Hell, it's available on Amazon. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So, Otis, if you don't mind, for our listeners that just tuned in, we're going to get back to the show. If you don't mind, with that silky smooth voice of yours, give us the quote for the day. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Certainly. Forget being realistic. Success takes delusion. Act like it's going to happen. Believe it's already yours. You are the main character, and you can make life the reality you want.
All right, acting like it's already yours. All right. Confidence attracts the outcome. So, Christopher, hearing Anne Marie's quote today and hearing so many different shares before yours, including your beautiful wife, Miss Gilda. And I want to say to all of our veterans, this is D-Day, Pearl Harbor. That should never happen. We had not ignored the message. Pearl Harbor wouldn't exist, so we wouldn't be honoring this day and the people that we lost during that day. And thank you, Mr. Christopher, for your service, serving our country. How does this quote land on you, sir?
Wow. Thank you. Thank you as always, Kevin. I had a hard time responding to that. Thank you for your service. I was at a veterans meeting and I finally got an answer. What do you say when someone walks up to you and say, thank you for your service? We adapted, thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for thanking us for our service. Not so much a confirmation of giving anything huge, but most of us service people simply did it because that's what we felt was required. But enough of that. Gilda made me say that. Hey, my response to the quote was sort of a parallel of fake it until you make it. I've always had these crazy dreams of where I wanted to go. And oftentimes when shared, people would say, you want to do what? But it never really deterred me from where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. There's a story in our family of one of our cousins who was dating a girl in San Francisco. And she was a sweet girl, lovely girl. And my cousin, oh God, what was his name? He was
Jack.
one of, yeah, he was one of those great looking kids that who had the perfect hair and all that. Anyway, he was dating this girl, and she once shared her dreams of becoming a star. And he said, "Yeah, that ain't going to happen." And he actually decided to stop dating her. I can't remember her name, but we saw her in several productions. Uh, the kid was serious. She became a star. So from that, um, I picked up, or I learned, you're going to be the only real determinant as to how far you go, and that starts as soon as you want it to. That starts as soon as you decide, this is what I want to do, this is the direction I want to go. And all those who want to say no, it ain't going to happen, all those haters, let them hate. I'm going to go in my direction, and I'll be that odd guy out for as long as I need to be until I achieve what I want to achieve. There is this thought process of being, well, let me call it, it's a imposter syndrome, where you're working or walking or living somewhere you know that one day somebody's going to say, hey, you shouldn't be here, but you're there. And what that sort of sets your mind to is you are conscious, I mean, almost hyper conscious of every single thing you do, because you know that they're watching you, and they're going to tell you at the moment that you make a mistake that you shouldn't be there. You are going to be hypersensitive as to what you do. And what that translates to is everyone who is, in fact, actually watching you see you perform excellently, see you do whatever is required to the absolute peak of perfection, because you are so worried that they'll find out that I shouldn't be here. But you're going to perform at a level that no one else can even come close to. And guess what? You become exactly what you wanted to be, that perfect specimen of whatever it is you're at. That imposter syndrome becomes your mantle of being of perfection. And everyone watching you will simply get back and say, well, yeah, he's supposed to be here. Look at him. Can nobody match his performance? That's the way I see that quote. And it really sparks me, because that's exactly the way I have been for my entire naval career. That imposter syndrome turned around to where I was now the absolute best that I could be. And I jealously protected that. No matter what it was, I made sure I was the best at whatever it was I was doing. And yeah, that's that quote. That's how it lands on me.
You, you know, um, that when you talk about other people and surrounding yourself with people or what we call dream stealers, I mentioned that in a book. I always tell people, I said, don't ever, and I'm going to repeat this like you didn't hear it the first time, don't ever attach someone to your wagon that's dragging their feet on their own dream. Because, breaking down this quote, when you talk about having belief in yourself, having faith, consistently working together, faith fuels your dream. Consistency manifests it. If I can say that, did I put too many other little things on the end of that? I don't know. All right, so I'm going to tell you, this is a hot seat. Which one do I put on the show first? Do I do Dr. Ferguson, K-Mac? I do Larnez, new spoken word queen. She's got a poem out there. Which one I'm going to tell you, both of them are going to deliver, on fire. So why don't we do this? All right, Larnez. All right. How does this quote land on you?
Well, blissful rising. This was an amazing quote, and a lot of people said a lot of things that you're gonna hear in what I said, because you know how I like to gather things.
Yeah.
So, to me, there comes a moment in your becoming where the life you've outgrown starts to feel like a shirt that's shrunk in the wash, tight in the shoulders, tight in the spirit. That's when the universe starts pulling you towards the version of yourself you haven't fully met yet. That is what this quote is pointing to. People will call it delusion, but when you're feeling it inside, that's alignment. That tingling behind your ribs, that's direction. That quiet conviction that what you want is already yours. That's your ancestors laying the blueprint at your feet. And as you rise, your life starts to fill, not all at once, drop by drop, a blessing here, a confirmation there, a conversation that shifts something, a moment that feels like the universe is saying, yeah, girl, keep going. And when the fullness comes, it comes in a different way of moving. Your spirit becomes heavier in the most beautiful way, like a cup filling closer and closer to the brim. When you were empty, you can twist and turn through life without consequences, impulsive decisions, wild detours, flipping yourself upside down just to see what might spill out. But now, we talking about right now. Now you're carrying meaning. Now you're carrying a calling. You're carrying the weight of answered prayer. And so your steps become more intentional, not cautious, just sacred, because you're full. One careless wobble can send what you earned over the edge. Not lost forever, but spilled in a way that requires effort and time to gather again. Some of the people around you know this lesson way too well. They were once full. They carried the dreams right up to the rim of their life. And one heartbreak, one betrayal, one misjudged moment knocked their whole cup sideways. It shattered something inside of them. And now, when they see you climbing into unfamiliar territory, their wounds rise up. They try to protect you in the only language that pain knows by asking you to shrink, to slow down, to settle, not because they doubt your ability, but because they doubt the world's gentleness. So, beloved, their fear is not your future. Their spill is not your prophecy. Their trembling hand is not your anointed one. Your hand is steadier than they realize. Your spirit is more discerning than they can see. Your alignment is your protection. Act like it's going to happen. Believe like it's already in your possession. Move like the main character in your story. Your soul has already written. You are not delusional. You are being guided. You are being awakened. You are being remembered by the life that was already carved long before you arrived. And because of that, you can shape this reality. You can bend it. You can breathe purpose into it. You can create it exactly as your spirit desires. Move with intention, beloved. Your cup is filling, and you are already holding every drop. And this is how it hit me.
All right, all right. Amazing. Well, when you look at the top of the quote about forgetting being realistic, and the second part is success takes delusion. Greatness requires bold imagination. Innovation, it always looks crazy at first. So when you take what Larnez just said and you spin it around, twist it up and whatever, it's like Houdini. Poof. All right, there you are. There you go. All right. I'm going to do a little something different. I tried this last week on the show because, the conversation after we sign off is so dynamic and whatever. I just want to make sure that Anne Marie that brought in the quote, and she's heard so many great takes on this quote. And before I go to Dr. Ferguson, Anne Marie, anything that, because I don't want to leave anything on the bone this Sunday morning. All right. Anything else that you want to add as listening to this quote?
I just love how everybody brings their own take on it. And I want to say is go ahead and dream, go ahead and create your life. Let's go ahead and do it.
All
Great
right.
job, everybody. Mm.
All right. K Mac, Dr.
Sir,
Ferguson.
yes, sir.
All right. All right. We're going to bring up the
So
and I'm going to tell you, I feel so sorry for Otis and I feel so sorry for me. I don't mean it, but I'm just saying it for entertainment purpose. To follow so many great minds, like I said, every Sunday. This is a master class on not only how to live your life, but it paints a clear vision in vivid color, all right, of what life is supposed to be, what struggle looks like and feels like, and what outcome, when you're consistent, what that looks like and feels like. So, Otis, one more time with the quote, setting up Dr. Ferguson, bring it home.
Ready. Forget being realistic. Success takes delusion. Act like it's going to happen. Believe it's already yours. You are the main character. You can make life the reality you want.
All right, K Mac, fire away.
So there are a few things that really stood out for me here. As I was building, single parent mom, left with 3 kids, lost a 6-figure income to the household, and I wasn't working. I had to, quote unquote, well, they were telling me to face some realities, right? The reality is you should be on welfare. The reality is you should be eating bonbons, watching soap operas all day long. The reality, though, for me was never good enough. I absolutely flat out refused to go with everybody else's reality. One of my mentors said that when you see a crowd running in a certain direction, go the opposite way, because that's where you're going to find the success, the dreams fulfilled, as opposed to trying to do it the way everybody else did. And that's exactly what I did. I began to, I have a quote, and the quote about realism is this: reality is for those who lack faith. Reality is for people who have no faith. Being realistic is the thing that keeps most people negotiating with their limitations instead of, and not realizing that God never put any limitations on us. There are none. The sky is the limit and beyond. Believe it or not, you are literally living what you're thinking. You're already living what you're believing. So why not change your thinking? Why not change your belief system so that you can have the things that you actually really want? You know how every year we do these cute little dream boards and vision parties, and we post up this, that, we're going to have this and that. I will say this: any year, any dream board that I have ever had, 90% of what's on there happens in that year. It's because I choose not to be realistic. I choose to be obnoxious with what I'm going after. And if I go for, what did Les Brown say? Shoot for the moon. If you land among the stars, you're okay though, right? Right there among the stars. So yeah, being realistic, it does take being delusional, but delusion is literally faith with his shoulders thrown back. Faith saying, I choose to believe it before I ever see it. I'm going to walk this thing out. Why? Just because I decided. I decided. Think about the word homicide, infanticide. It means something died. My limitations have died. My belief that I can't do it has died. And instead, I am embracing the reality that I was created with the ability to dominate in this earth realm. I am a kingdom citizen. I have what I say. I have what I decide. I have what I choose. Some of us just need to choose a little more differently. And in terms of the main character in this quote, main character energy, that's not arrogance. That's stewardship. That is a stewardship of the gifts, the things that are placed inside you for the rest of the world. The challenge is we try to turn that stuff inside and use it only to benefit ourselves. And that's where we get stuck. So yeah, reality is not negotiable. I mean, reality is only negotiable when conviction is non-negotiable. Life bends for those who decide to bend it. You've heard that a couple of times. So make a decision. And then when you walk it, talk it, pray it, execute it, act as if it's already happened, that's when you'll begin to see the fruit of those things in your life. PJ, you mentioned as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Yeah, that's the book of James in the Bible. But there's a book that I would suggest everybody, if you've never read it, get it. Because I built my life on As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. and it will flip the whole way that your brain works. We have to start seeing more good even when bad seems bigger. It's like bad is right here and the good, you can't even see it. Well, back up, step back. You've got to change your vision. You've got to change your perspective so that you can really embrace what it is that's going on inside you. But we're afraid of it, right? We're afraid of that. You know, when you were talking, I just came back from South Africa, you know, and I got to visit Robben's Island where Nelson Mandela was held. And often we attribute the quote to him, but it was actually Marianne Williamson, who talks about our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate, but it's that we are powerful beyond measure. And the challenge is we embrace the fear of inadequacy instead of embracing the powerful beyond measure part. Make a different choice, choose differently, and live your dreams. Like, you can really live the things you dream about. When you're sitting there and it's quiet and you're like, man, that private jet, what if I could just own an island? I could take my whole family and be secured from the dumb stuff. Like, we can escape this drama. You know, we talk about expatting. Do you have a plan? Why not? Just put it on paper and watch the pieces come together for you. But the first step is always going to be yours. Make a decision. Make a decision. Are you going to live life at this level, or are you going to live it the way you were created? It's up to you. That's how that quote hit me.
Right. All right. And then I'm going to tell you, you don't feel like you've been slapped around this morning to get to your attention. I'm going to hit rewind and play this back again. Hey, Otis. All right. It's that time of the show, man. You know, it is hard to follow. There's not one person on here that I would say I would love to be in your place right now, because it was deep today. It was deep. So, Otis, we're coming to that time of the show. How's this quote land on you? Give us the quote one more time and give us your share on this quote.
Get being realistic. Success takes delusion. Act like it's going to happen. Believe it's yours. You are the main character. You can make life the reality you want. And it's like most people have already said, if you believe it, you can achieve it. What is your plan? What are you going to do daily? What are you going to do weekly? What are you going to do monthly to help achieve whatever it is you want to achieve? Stay around positive people. Hang around people that are already doing what you want to achieve. Again, stay positive and you will make it happen. Don't let anyone hold you back.
All right. All right. I hope to our listeners that you are listening, be it in your home, getting ready to go to church this morning, preparing to go out and shop, or whatever decision you make, or getting your little ones up and ready and making breakfast, having a family meal. This quote today, all right, it challenges the limits we place on ourselves. Being realistic often means playing small, which a lot of us do. And if you're comfortable in that space, I mean, it's all right with me if it's all right with you. Accepting and putting up boundaries, where that what that means to me is that success requires a spark of delusion. Matter of fact, burn it up. All right, get crazy. All right. Um, the ability to believe in something that has not yet happened is a miracle that you put your stamp on every single day. Um, Acting as if your dream has already happened creates a mindset, a posture, and the way you carry yourself, the energy around you. We hear that all the time. That draws a line straight forward to where you are meant to be, where you have to be. You always have to remember, if you look back into the mirror, the only truth you ever tell is to that person that's looking back at you. You are the main character in your story. We all are. Gilda, Chris, Larnez, Curtis, K-Mac, Otis, Anne Marie, and PJ. We are the main characters. Write your story. All right. It could be a dramedy, it could be a comedy, it could be an action adventure movie. All right. Or it could be the greatest love story ever told. Okay. but you've got to claim it. You deserve to take ownership in it. I'm going to tell you, delusion is simply your faith without evidence. Your dream isn't unrealistic, it's just unproven at this moment. Walk this week with boundaries. Believe that what you desire has already happened and it's yours. Feel it, touch it, taste it. The world rewards those who dare to believe before the proof ever shows up. So, my grandfather always said, um, when you get to a place in life that you can help someone else out, he said it's your duty to do so. He said, reach one, teach one. And I'm going to add something to this before we fade to black. All right. I just want to thank everyone on the show, all my co-hosts, for coming in and giving your Sunday an hour away from your time. Christopher, Gilda, K-Mac, Curtis, Larnez, Otis, Anne Marie, and PJ. I want to thank you. I want to thank our listeners. If you like what you heard, go to our YouTube page on RNK Production and Network. You can like it, you can follow it. We have the only show after you subscribe that you can be a guest on it. We would love to have you. But I'm going to go back. My grandfather possessed a great deal of wisdom. With an eighth grade education, the man read like he was allergic to anything other than the words on the page, and did not know that I was listening to him because he always poured things into me. And you've got great people that just poured into you. Now you can either walk away and seal that leak that's in your cup, or you can walk away like many of my guests. Your cup is running over. So my grandfather said, when you get to a point in life that you can help someone else out, he said it's your duty to do so. Reach one, teach one. And with that said, we what?
Fade to black.
And make sure you come back.
That's right.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. This is Kevin. And I want to remind you our purpose is hope, helping other people every day. Until next week, we'll see you. Happy holidays, happy life, happy moment. Don't waste it. Don't make God regret that he gave you a second chance. All right. Talk to you later.